Hello everyone, it's me, T Mario C. Today we are back with another video about the new 4-perk coal mayor that is finally coming to Hypixel Skyblock. If you haven't been on in the past couple of days, you may not be aware that thanks to a wonderful voting strat last election, we now have 4-perk coal in the rotation and the first mining fiesta in 17 in-game years, which is, probably about 3 months now. The last fiesta period was last Jerry, which is kind of crazy to think about considering that mining fiestas are incredibly popular. Yeah, the coal is... I'm pretty sure coal has just been bugged, but thanks to the new perks of Diaz, who is currently our mayor, the currently elected minister, which is coal, appears in the next cycle, this cycle, with all of their perks, which includes all 4 perks. The 4th perk is that it decreases the time it takes to forge items by 25%. This is a relatively minor perk. As far as the perks themselves go, the coal wasn't really modified very much. Its 4th perk is nice, especially for Iron Men, but it isn't crazy important, even though forge time is free profit, I think, on normal profiles. Not a lot of people really pay attention to it, and that's fair enough, because it is kind of annoying to deal with. That's why the people make money from forging stuff. So while coal is in office, you'll have really low forge times. So if you have a backlog of refined mithril or titanium or whatever not refined mithril, enchanted mithril, whatever, you want to do some mithril plates, now is the time. Just be aware of that. 4th perk will be very handy. But the thing we really care about, the thing I care about the most, is the brand new updated mining fiesta, which, as you can see, schedules 5 mining fiestas throughout the year. Unlike the previous marathon 5-hour plus mining fiestas that we had before, we now have 5 individual mining fiestas that last 2 hours and 20 minutes, or 7 in-game days. Now, this is very important because it means that not only will you have more opportunities, perhaps better time zones, it means that I think the total amount of fiesta time is slightly higher if you attended all of the events, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend, because I'm sure at least one of them will require you to ruin your sleep schedule. That's only for non-Iron Man players, though. If you're an Iron Man, sorry, you have to mine. If anyone doesn't know, mining ruby is probably the best money-making method in the game for Iron Men in normal circumstances, and mining fiestas take those rates and they double it for 2 hours and 20 minutes per event now. So yeah, it kind of represents the best money-making opportunity Iron Man will ever get, ever. And that has been the case for years at this point. So we have no choice. Obviously, be sensible. I'm not actually saying ruin your sleep schedule if you don't have to. People should play this game for fun, not to max everything out. And the important thing is that you are probably going to be able to attend some of them, which is really good, which means you'll get your hands on the brand new Glossy Gemstones. Now, Glossy Gemstones, for anyone that doesn't know, is similar to the refined mineral, in the sense that it's a special drop that you will occasionally collect when mining gemstones during the fiesta. So, the question is, what do Glossy Gemstones do? Now, this has kind of been public knowledge for a while, but it's actually been quite a while since the Better Mayors update. If we take a look and talk to Jerry and look at previous patch notes, I think, yeah, V20.3 is 2nd of July. We're now a whole month from the initial Better Mayors post, and this is the first time we've had a chance to get our hands on these new items. So I can understand if you might have forgotten or perhaps never paid attention to until now the important items that you would need. Unfortunately, I have stuff in my forge, so I can't show you the items in the forge menu in-game, but we can have another look at the wiki. The glossy gemstone is required for a number of items, both in crafting and in the forge. The glossy gemstone is used to craft the glossy mineral armor, the glossy mineral talisman, upgrade to the mineral talisman, the amethyst gauntlet, the amber necklace, and the sapphire cloak and the jade belt are required to have glossy gemstones. And finally, the gleaming crystal, which is a mining tool reforge, giving a decent amount of mining fortune. If we look through at the item specifically, we can see that at divine it gives 25, mythic it gives 20 mining fortune. But we'll go over all of these in just a moment. So, this is everything, every item that requires glossy gemstones. So the question you might be asking is, okay, that's great. How many do I need in total? Well, the answer to that is probably 528 glossy gemstones. So, let's go through and explain why. First of all, glossy mineral talisman, epic accessory, upgrade to the mineral talisman, obviously recommable and therefore enrichmentable. You will absolutely want to get your hands on this because MP is awesome and so are enrichments. So that's 16 there. You will need at least one full set of glossy mineral armor. Glossy mineral is an upgrade to the original mineral set, and the upgrade as far as base stats is concerned is a little bit of extra defense and a little bit of extra base speed. But the main thing about the glossy mineral set is that it gets an additional tiered bonus. So this isn't a set bonus, this is a tiered bonus, just like the base mineral armor, where the more pieces you have, the more the buff stacks. And I can tell you now that each piece gives 50 mining fortune on non-ore blocks. That is from testing that I did quite a while ago now on alpha. If we go through to the specific glossy mineral set, we would be able to see that it would tell you that in the description. I'm not making it up. It does tell you that here. And this, interestingly enough, affects all of the non-ore blocks here, which there are quite a number of. Importantly, there's gravel, hardstone, endstone, mycelium, red sand, ice, obsidian, netherite, cobblestone, stone, etc. Those are all of those. Breaking power of less than 4 is all of these. Fair enough. The question then is, okay, it affects non-ore blocks. Well, why do I care? First of all, it's a rarity upgrade, which means that for mining that you would do with jaded mineral armor, you will now get an additional mining fortune as a consequence of it being higher rarity. It would be 5 per piece, so that's an extra 20 mining fortune, just by virtue of higher tier reforges. But the other main benefit is obviously towards non-ore blocks. Now, typically, if you were powder mining, at least on Iron Man, you would probably want to do it with some combination of mineral armor, because mining the ores in the crystal hollows does not spawn powder chests, so you want to get rid of those ores as quickly as possible. How do you get rid of those ores? Well, you get mineral armor to break a bunch of blocks. Typically, because I actually care about some of those resources, especially iron, redstone. Most of the other ones are less important. Coal, but you've got plentiful amount for the stuff I currently need it for. All of that can be broken with the mineral armor, and therefore you will be wearing it when you're mining. But what else are you mining? You're mining hardstone. So if you're powder mining with full glossy mineral as opposed to mineral armor, you will be getting 200 additional mining fortune specifically for hardstone. Now, if you're powder mining and you're not using a snail pet, that's going to be a triple the amount of hardstone at no cost to your speed. It means you can use a Skaith pet, means you can get more chests, or whatever else you want to do. Maybe you want to use maybe you're doing your powder mining in the magma fields. I don't know why you would, but whatever the case may be, you can use whatever pet that isn't the snail and still get quite a significant amount of non-ore fortune. So if you had a full set of glossy mineral armor and you weren't using the snail pet, it represents a tripling of the amount of hardstone you get, and hardstone is actually quite valuable. Even on a regular profile, you get a significant amount of return on your time if you powder mine, trying to optimize for the amount of hardstone you get, because hardstone is so incredibly annoying to get. But this will make it much, much better to do, because you will get so much more additional non-ore block fortune. Obviously, this applies for the other blocks that aren't ores, redstone, mycelium. Mineral armor is now that. So the result, essentially, is that glossy mineral, at least some pieces of it, will be best in slot for non-ore block mining. So you might want 2 sets of glossy mineral armor, which actually might take the amount of glossy mineral or glossy gemstones you need closer to 600. But we'll keep going in a moment. The other things that it is used for is divan powder coating. This, I'm not going to lie, maybe after the accessory and after the equipment, this right here is possibly the most important thing you want to get. In fact, I honestly think that if you have the resources, if you're not an Iron Man and you can easily get the rest of these divan frags, you should go for this immediately, because when a divan's powder coating is applied to a drill, it gives 500 additional mining speed. That's right, this single item, when applied to a drill, gives 500 mining speed. Yeah, that's quite a lot of mining speed. It's highly likely that much mining speed will really help you out with some of the grinds in this game. It's just like, it's kind of just a cracked amount of mining speed to have. It will probably put you into a higher tick rate when mining gemstones. I'm sure it will work. It will probably buff that tick rate for glassite tunnels mining, whether that's umber or tungsten, or all of those. Those are really hard to mine, so you want to get as much mining speed as possible, so this represents a massive buff. Getting at least one of these, trying to get 5 divan fragments, absolutely you need to go for this. The other thing is that you can get, if you get 4 more, you can get 40 additional mining fortune on Armor of Divan, as well as, if you are lucky enough to have a Pendant of Divan, you can get it on that too, which is pretty awesome. This is definitely the most expensive item, requiring not only 32 glossy gemstones, 16 enchanted gold blocks, but 5 divan fragments each. That's a bit painful for Iron Man. You need probably 5 of them, which means you need another 25 frags, which is basically a whole nother set of divan armor. That's, you know, a thing. So you will have to do some more nucleus runs probably, unless you have them lying around. But that is one of the things. Another thing I would say is that the admins have said, or they hinted in the Better Maze post, that they would be coming up with a kind of an intermission mining update, or at least they were going to make a bunch of changes to earlier stages of mining to balance some things and to optimize some things, especially with some quality of life changes, so that when they bring out the final version of mining, basically the last bit, Glaciate Tunnels Part 2, which is, as far as I understand, it's their end point for mining progression. After that, the mining skill is going to be, I mean, already is incredibly well developed, but that is going to be the end of mining progression. Once they do that, they are planning on adding a RNG meter of some description to nucleus runs, which means that you might want to save up a bunch of nucleus runs in the short term. Alternatively, at the very least, I would recommend going and getting your 5 frags. 40 fortune is nice. It can wait to do, frankly. It's going to take you, dozens of nucleus runs to get another 20 frags if you have to do it on an Iron Man profile. If you don't have to do it on an Iron Man profile, go right ahead. Buy them. Another tip, divan frags will go up in price, I am sure. The final 4 equipment pieces here, the Jade Belt, Sapphire Cloak, Amber Necklace, and Amethyst Gauntlet, all require 32 glossy gemstones each, as well as 2 flawless gemstones of the corresponding type. Now, these, interestingly enough, especially before you reach the Glaciate Tunnels, are best in slot for crystal hollows mining specifically. That is because of their full set bonus. The only exception to that is if you have a pendant of Divan. If you have a pendant of Divan, you should ignore the statement of being best in slot. Most people do not, so it's a reasonable assumption to say that these will be best in slot for you. This is actually a very close call. If you have Dwarven Handwarmers, it is still the case that these are best in slot. My understanding is that they beat out Dwarven Handwarmers by 5 more mining fortune at the cost of 15 mining speed. If you don't have the Handwarmers, if you're stuck with the Titanium Gauntlet, it has the same base stats, higher rarity, and will be better in Crystal Hollows. Outside of Crystal Hollows, you want Handwarmers, that's just period. I think these might be best in slot for Dwarven Mines mining. Glistening Handwarmers are really good in general, if you're not in the Dwarven Mines or the Crystal Hollows. But yeah, technically, the full set is better. The full gemstone set is better in the Crystal Hollows. The other thing is that they give additional mining fortune buffs for the specific type of gemstone. So if you are mining a specific type of gemstone, amber, amethyst, sapphire, jade, if you're mining any of those specifically, hands down, best in slot, right? At the very least, you are pretty much guaranteed to want these. The final thing that you care about with glossy gemstones is the Gleaming Crystal, which is a new reforged stone, which just gives mining fortune and mining speed. Click through on it before, and you can see that for Mythic or Divine, it gives 30 mining speed and 20 mining fortune. Auspicious gives a flat 8. On most items, and basically, you just want this. I'm gonna be real with you. You just want this. You don't really need to worry about auspicious anymore. This is just better. It just gives more mining fortune, and it is pretty cheap. It's just 32 gemstones, 1 refined mineral, 2 refined diamonds. So, what do I recommend you do with glossy gemstones? Firstly, go to as many mining fiestas as you can. These things are going to be hot popping. No one is going to be able to get 600 in one mayorship. I don't think. It depends on the rates. Because if I look in my mining sec, I have some refined minerals, which has been saved up from previous stuff, right? Which ostensibly is used to make the mining set. It's also used to make the titanium equipment. And you need it for Divan's powder coating. So I've got plenty, but I don't have 600. I have quite a lot, and I've been to a few mining fiestas in my time. So the idea that I would get 600 of the new thing in one event, we don't know. I do have the carnival event perk that gives me plus 10%. If that's additive, and I have a 10% plus base chance per gemstone I break, I think I will probably break more than 6,000 blocks over the course of 11 plus hours, but that is not going to be the case because that would be insane. We don't know the rates. Obviously, on the wiki page, it did not say what the rates would be, so we don't really know. The question then is, what do you prioritize? In my opinion, 1 Divan powders coating is absolutely a must get because 500 mining speed is insane and will help you in basically everything, right? It doesn't matter where you are, glaciate tunnels, dwarven mines, whatever. Your 500 mining speed, you're probably gonna go up a tick speed, right? For whatever you're mining, even for ruby, right? Like you're probably going up in tick speed or getting very close to it. Sapphire Cloak, Jade Belt, Amber Necklace, and Amethyst Gauntlet are best on slot specifically for Crystal Hollows. If you're mining any of the corresponding gemstones, they're even better, but if you're mining Ruby, they are just technically best on slot, bar, obviously, the Pendant of Divan. Gleaming Crystal is probably an interesting choice. After getting these 4 equipment pieces plus at least one of these, you might want to go for this because it represents probably the next upgrade or the next cheapest upgrade for mining fortune specifically. After that, specifically for mining gemstones, you might want to get more Divan's powder coatings. If you're going for non-ore fortune, if you still need to do powder mining, getting glossy mineral at this point, once you've got all of these and this reforge, you might be looking into that. Mineral talisman, this is only 16 glossy gemstones, and it's potentially a legendary when reforged accessory. I would not blame you for a second to go for this first, frankly, because it's actually just really cheap. Mineral talisman is literally free, so yeah, I mean, go ahead if you've got some spare. If you've got 16 spare, get the glossy mineral talisman. Maybe get a couple pieces of these. You will probably want 2 sets if you are Iron Man and want to do non-ore fortune mining. But yeah, that's it. Once you've got 1 of these, 4 of these, and this, the options, they kind of go outwards based on personal preference. I think this accessory upgrade should probably be a priority because I keep repeating this, but legendary when reforged, we love base epic accessories because they can be enriched in that way. But yeah, there is a lot of upgrades to mining here. You know, indirect ones from rarity increases, direct 500 mining speed added on to your drill. You know, lots of additional fortune buffs. Whatever the case may be, glossy gemstones represent big new upgrades to everything, and if you care about museum completion, I think there's got to be 2 here, right? Glossy mineral and the gemstone equipment. That's 2 entries, probably. So if you care about that kind of thing, yeah. The most important thing is that glossy gemstones are going to be very sought after, and you should be mining. If you have a max mining setup or a semi-max one, like myself, okay, according to the gear, I guess this isn't even maxed yet anyway. Look, I still need to get perfect ambers. I'm probably going to wait until I get the amber equipment, but we'll see. Yeah, so just choose what you need to mine. If you're like on a regular profile, ruby is the quickest gemstone to mine, so you probably want to mine ruby. Hopefully you have a good setup and can make some money from it. If you don't, fair enough, you're on a regular profile, you don't have to prioritize mining necessarily to make money. If you're on an Iron Man, you will want to do something during the mining fiesta. It will want to be gemstones. If you have a good setup like I do, or potentially better than I do, ruby mine. The money is the best possible, and now you're getting a brand new item that can't be obtained before as efficiently as possible. If you want to do other things, like topaz, it's justifiable to go for topaz gemstones during fiesta. If you're much earlier on, you can also do ruby to get yourself a gemstone gauntlet. What else is there? I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing jade, sapphire, amber, or amethyst. Definitely not amethyst. Amethyst is just a nightmare. If you don't have to, I kind of want to do a fiesta where I go for amethyst, because I really want to get 9 perfect amethysts, because I'm making a bit of a meme tank set at the moment. But yeah, that's, if you want to be smart about it, you should probably be mining ruby. That's the short answer. Glaciate tunnels mining, going for peridot, also valid. Fiesta is a fiesta, right? Like you're still going to be mining gemstone. As far as we know, it's any type of gemstone. So, doing it in glaciate tunnels will be slower, but you will make a lot of profit. That's pretty much it. Those are the things you need to know. The most important thing is that I don't know when the video will release, but for me it's 4 PM on Monday. For Americans, it will be Monday morning. For Europeans, it will be roughly afternoon, evening for whatever other time zone. Do your own maths. Roughly on Monday, which is about 3 days from when I'm recording this, we will have 4 perk coal in office, and we will be able to find out when the fiestas are. Make sure you log on Monday to find out and check for yourself exactly when those fiestas are. Decide which ones you can and can't do. Make sure you're ready as possible, and go make hella progress, my guy. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be hype. We're gonna make lots of money, lots of profit. And on that note, skipping forward a few days into the future, I am going to brief you on when the 5 mining fiestas are before I end this video. They are in relation to the start of the Maya. The first fiesta is 12 hours after it opened at 4:15 AM my time. That's going to be early night for me. Second fiesta is 8 hours after the end of the previous one, or 10 hours and 20 minutes after the beginning of the previous one. So you have an 8-hour gap between each fiesta after that, which means that after the beginning of the mayorship it was 22 hours, and 20 minutes, then one day 8 hours and 40 minutes, one day 19 hours, 2 days 5 hours and 20 minutes, which means that the last fiesta is happening for my time, European time, Wednesday evening, which means that for the latter half of this coal, there is not any fiestas. All of the fiestas are early on in the mayorship, similar to how they were distributed in the previous iteration of coal. They will be all near the beginning, so you cannot wait. If you can't get on in the next 2 days, you're low-key screwed. So I hope that was not bad news, but yeah, just be aware they're coming at you quick over the next few days. Reasonable, sensible people probably shouldn't be trying to attend all of them. Go for the ones that you can. This one is quite nice for me. It's decent time in the evening, not too late. And a few of these ones as well. This one's staying up to 3 a.m. Bit rough. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But either way, I wish you the best of luck in your mining sessions. Get some tunes on, put a movie on, make sure you're focusing low. Do whatever you need to do. It is not a marathon. These are not the 5-hour fiestas that you might know and have a love-hate relationship with. These are 2 hours, 20 minutes. That's like a regular movie length, okay? These are like baby fiestas compared to what we were used to. It is not that much of a commitment. Go out and do it. Go make hella money. I wish you the best. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.